Welcome back. This is Kristen with GoodKnit Kisses, and my friends with AllFreeKnitting.com and I would like to present you with another project. This is a loom knit project. We are making a bag. It's a very long sort of cylinder type of bag. This is the bottom of it, and I'm making a mesh, and you could probably make it a little more meshier than this with one strand. Right now what I'm using is nylon. This is from Red Heart. It's a crochet nylon thread, and I've used most of it. It's about 150 yards, so you can see how much I had left over. And then I also am using a cotton, and this is what was left of it, and it wasn't a full ball. So basically you just need a ball of cotton and a ball of the nylon, or a little spool of the nylon thread. Today I'm just going to use 2 cotton threads here, and I'm making them in some kind of patriotic colors for the summer. And we're using the 41 peg round nifty knitter. And also I did a spool loom. You can make this icord without the spool loom. I'm just using 3 pegs of it to make this, and we'll do this separately and put it in later, but I want to show you it kind of goes in between some top stitches here at the end. So we're going to get started. Start by making a slip knot, putting it on your first peg. I'd put that tail on the inside, and we are going to cast on a flat panel, just doing an E-wrap stitch. We're going to go 14 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And now this is going to become our slip stitch. Go back all the way up to the front. You want to be careful to leave your stitches loose enough. I know this cotton, I get myself and where I've gone too tight. So we want to make sure that your strands are fairly loose. I've made this one a little too tight, you can see. So as we go on, you're going to have to really make yourself be loose. If you're new to loom knitting, the tendency is to be really tight with your wrapping. I don't know what that is, but it seems to be pretty universal. Okay. So now we've done an E-wrap cast on. We are going to come back in this direction and wrap on again in the E-wrap stitch and knit over. And keep watching your screen for directions for the pattern. The pattern will be posted, but watch and I will tell you how many rows to do with each step. Wrap on our, sorry, we just did the cast on. We're going to wrap on our first row after the cast on, and we're going to do 30 rows total. And we'll see you back after you've done your rows. Okay, so you should have just finished your 30th row after the cast on row, and we know we've come back to the 30th because our working strand is over by this starter peg. So now what we're going to do is we've made it long enough to stretch it across this. So we're going to go all the way across, equally across. You're going to have an uneven number on one side versus the other, and that's okay. What we're going to end up doing is stretching it across, and then we're going to pull all these extra side pieces and stretch them over. So you're going to have to do a little bit of tugging and playing and stuff, and I'll show you a couple of those here. So I'm going to kind of start coming across, and I want to look at these and grab this looser outside part and put it over the pegs. So we're going to do the opposite pegs first before we start doing these outside pegs, the outside slip stitches. So if you can see, I'm just grabbing 2 because I'm working with 2 strands. Now your starting row, your starting peg will be a little tighter because that's where your slip knot was. So you will grab that one, or else if you miss one of these, you could have a hole in the bottom of your bag, because this is going to be the base and we're going to build from there. I'm going to count my pegs and see if I'm even. If not, I may move these over. 8 pegs, 2, 3, 7. Okay, so we've got an uneven number. We've got 7 over here and 8 over here. And now what I'm going to do is just pick a side, and we're going to start pulling these little side stitches here. If you're not sure on them, you can look at the back of them. You can look at this back area and see what it'll look like. So you want to grab these two here, and now that I've pulled them you can see it, and then it'll go on here, and then you're going to go with the next stitch that's right behind it. It'll be easier because you just did that one, and go ahead and pull it out a little bit, and you're going to double these over. So now I've got a group of 2 and a group of 2, and then keep going. So I'm going to pull this one over, put it on the next peg, and then you got it. We're going to do the next group and put it on the same peg. Keep going along here, along this side, and I'll show you when you come back what mine looks like. Okay, so sometimes it's easier to stop on one side and then finish over here and kind of work your way back. But if you'll notice, you should have, on the side that had 8 pegs, you should be able to get double stitches on this side. And then now we're going to flip it around and go the other side. And when we do this, because we have one less peg, you may have an uneven number. But try and get 2 on each peg, and then you should have an extra stitch you're going to have to put on one of these other, and it's fine as long as you're picking the stitch up. So go ahead and pick these stitches up, start pulling them over. This side's going to be a little harder because you moved all these over already, and then we'll pick back up in a moment. Got 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. You can see how I'm kind of working my way along. Sometimes you might want to take your knitting tool and use that instead of your fingers if you're having a hard time with it. Sometimes, depending if you're working from the left to the right or the right to the left, sometimes it seems like one stitch will be better to be placed underneath, so that's what I'm doing here. I just like working from my left to my right, but the stitches seem to want to go the other way, so I'm just listening to the yarn. I don't know, does the yarn talk to you? Well, I seem to have a double amount on each side, but it looks like I've picked up all my stitches. And if you want to check, flip it over, and now you can see that we have severely stretched this, which is good because we want to have a mesh looking bag. So see, you can see how you can see through that, and then you can kind of tell these were the side or the slip stitches, and now we've just grabbed material from the side and pulled those over to stretch it. This was the first part on building the base of your bag, and the next tutorial is going to pick up on how to start building the rest of your bag. Thank you from my friends at AllFreeKnitting.com. I'm Kristen with GoodKnit Kisses. Happy looming!